What's going on, guys? Snake Eyes here, bringing you another episode of Bloodborne discussion. And in this video I'm going to talk about a theory that I'm sure all of you have heard at least once since the announcement of Bloodborne, and that is Marvelous Chester from Yharnam? Just like in the last video, if you're looking for concrete news that talks about confirmed things, then this probably isn't the video for you. But getting right into it, this theory revolves around Marvelous Chester being from the same area that Bloodborne is set in, and even goes so far as to say that Bloodborne and Dark Souls are connected in some way. Without going too deep into everything, some of the things that we know about Chester is that he was dragged to the past just like the player, but judging from his clothes and the way that he talks, it's possible that he's from a more recent time than the player. Everything about Chester suggests that he's from Karim, with some people speculating that he's even the Earl of our store, and his combat style seems to support that. Karim is an area that was known for its studies in blood, and is the origin of some items like the Blood Bite ring, which gives the player heavy bleed resistance, and the Red Tearstone ring, which is a ring that encourages you to be more aggressive when near death by boosting your damage up 50% while your health is at 20% or less. People are saying that it's possible that Karim eventually gets renamed to Yharnam, just like what happened to Lordran and Drangleic. This theory is pretty solid, and it would be pretty fucking cool if that were the case, but Miyazaki has said on multiple occasions that Bloodborne is set in its own universe, separate from any Souls game before it, and with that being said, I'd have to say that it's not possible for Chester to be related to Bloodborne. I do think it's a lot bigger than that though. It's safe to say that Marvelous Chester is a prototype to a style and a setting that would eventually be known as Bloodborne, and in a way, if for whatever reason Chester didn't work out or he wasn't well received, for all we know, maybe Bloodborne would have turned out a lot different. So while I don't think Chester is directly connected story-wise to Bloodborne, I do believe that he has a connection concept-wise, and in a way, he was the start of all of this. One side theory that I heard was that Chester could possibly be the next Patches. He has the overall malicious trickster attitude just like Patches, and when I think about it a little bit more, it somewhat makes sense. Don't get me wrong, in a way I still want to keep it original, and I really hope to see some form of Patches in Bloodborne, along with a few other things, but when I really think about it, the Patches that we know doesn't really fit the theme of Bloodborne, and unless they redress him to fit the game, I can't help but wonder if that's actually a good idea. Another interesting thing to note is that even though Chester is human and has a human model in-game, he's still completely separate from anything else in the game. Almost everything Chester has in regards to his mechanics are completely unique to Chester and Chester alone, making him truly separate from anything in Dark Souls and making this theory a very popular one. And I want to know your thoughts on it. If you have some other key things to add that I might have missed, feel free to list them out. This is actually a pretty detailed theory, but for the sake of the video, I had to shorten it up. Before I go, I'd like to remind you guys not to get too hyped for this game and to manage your expectations. I know it's hard now that Bloodborne is weeks away, but the last thing that I want to do is help overhype the game and leave people disappointed in the end. I want everybody to know that videos titled Bloodborne News talks about 4 sure things that we know are going to be in the game, while this new series, Bloodborne Discussion, is purely to pass time and nothing else. Nothing in this video should be taken seriously or should be expected in the game. With that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, so leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care.